now let's have a quick look at what is the situation in Israel, the war that was going on between the terrorist group Hamas and Israel, and the sufferers were the residents of Gaza, the Palestinians who were residing in Gaza. Now these are the pictures. We see thousands of them with their children, with their belongings. They are actually trying to seek a refuge, but no country is willing to let them in. There is a reason behind that, people, and if you want me to go through that as well, last time there was a country which did let them in, and they actually tried to overturn their government. So owing to which no country wants them in, wants the Palestinians. Although if we see the majority of the population in Palestine, in fact, the majority population is that of Muslims, and the neighboring countries are all Islamic nations, but still no country is willing to give them refuge. That's the point to ponder. And why is that? We do have a reasoning behind that as well. Now, airstrikes on Gaza Strip killed Hamas weapons maker and several fighters. As far as I remember, now their target was the man who was the mastermind behind the attack on 5th of last month. So they wanted to eliminate the main culprit, and let's see, were they successful? As the air and ground offensive targets and militants, and also the Hamas, the terrorists from Hamas, they have a network of tunnels which is widespread, hundreds of kilometers is what they have covered in tunnels itself. Now these tunnels are to be destroyed. That's another challenge for the Palestinian army, and they are actually doing their job, but they are facing resistance as well, the armed resistance of Hamas. Still they are not ready to surrender, despite the fact that more than 10,000 civilians have been killed, including more than 4,000 children. So that's the level of death toll, and that's how the death toll is increasing. But still the Hamas, the terrorists are not willing to let go the hostages. There was a window that was provided yesterday. There was a ceasefire that was done so that they can actually return the hostages, but they are not willing to do so, owing to which, so that clearly indicates Hamas does not bother about all the people in this picture. They are okay if they get killed. What is the point of attaining an objective once you don't have the people you are actually raising that point for? I fail to understand this narrative. It's not that Hamas was fighting for Palestinians. That's evident. Had they cared for the people of Palestine, they would have by now actually handed over the hostages to Israel, and there would have been a request for peace, because they know very well with the kind of technology Israel has, it will not be difficult for Israel to counter Hamas. They will not be getting support owing to the international pressure being exhibited by various nations over the supporting countries like Turkey and all. So Iran and Turkey that were supporting Hamas, so they will also not be able to support Hamas for long owing to the international pressures. We have United States of America joining hands with Israel, United Kingdom, India, everybody, all the major powers in the world, and all of them are also the major economic powers of the world along with the military power. Now all these powers have come together to support Israel, and will Hamas stand a chance? Israel alone is capable enough to take care of all the terrorists of Hamas, but they are not ready. They don't care about the lives of these thousands of people who we can see in this photograph, the kids. They are ready to sacrifice these kids also, and that's the sad news. They are not, I would have called them militants, but a militant will be fighting for his community. A militant will be fighting for his rights. But here it is the other way around. They don't care about their own. So that they are not militants, they are terrorists. All they want to do is perpetrate terror. Now, Israel struck Gaza in a response to Hamas raid on southern Israel on 7th of October, in which gunmen killed 1,400 people. Palestinian media reported clashes between militants and the Israeli forces near Al-Shati beach refuge camp in Gaza city. Now there was a refuge camp, and that is why even the situation becomes even more difficult, because people have taken refuge there, the civilians have taken refuge, and the Hamas terrorists also joined them. So this is what happened out there. The Hamas armed wing, Izzuddin al-Qassam brigades, said its fighters had destroyed an Israeli tank in Gaza city. What is the relevance of it? You destroy one Israeli tank, there will be hundreds of them more pounding the city again. There was no further word from Israel on the possible fate of Yahya Sinwar. So Yahya Sinwar is the mastermind behind this attack that was carried out on 5th. So he was to be eliminated. The most senior Hamas leader in Gaza and believed to be the key planner of October 7th attacks. Alright, it was October 7th, not 5th, my correction. I stand corrected. And Chief Military Spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said combat engineers were using explosive devices to destroy a tunnel network built by Hamas that stretches for hundreds of kilometers. Now this is what I was talking about. This network of tunnel stretches to hundreds of kilometers, and they are being the explosive devices are being used to destroy this network. Now Israeli tanks have met heavy resistance from Hamas fighters using the tunnels to stage ambushes, according to the sources with Hamas and the separate Islamic Jihad militant group. Israel says 33 of its soldiers have been killed. Israelis have voiced fear that military operations could further endanger the hostages who are believed to be held in the tunnels. Alright, so now the hostages are also held captive in the tunnels. So that's a new one for me as well. Israel says it will not agree to a ceasefire until the hostages are released. Hamas says it will not stop fighting while Gaza is under attack. So that's a catch-22 position, and wherein they have interlocked. Now this is a deadlock that exists. Hamas says Israel should stop the attack and only then we will let the hostages free. But Israel says they will not cease the fire unless and until the hostages are released. So let's see. Only time can I don't know if there can be a negotiation with them. Ideally, there should not be any negotiation with the terrorists.